Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So this one I am playing as Chaos, as I'm sure you can tell by these very ferocious looking Chaos Knights. So I've got Chaos Knights with Lances. I really like these guys. Let's bring up the stats. They have crazy high charge bonus of 80, which is just nuts. They're not anti-infantry or anti-large. I mean, they don't have a huge amount of armor piercing, but, you know, enough to get some work done. But then, you know, with the charge bonus, you can get some real work done with these guys. I really like them. Huge mass, massive armor, some missile resist. They just got a lot going for them. They're not the quickest things in the world, but 66 is going to outrun any infantry, certainly. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, not a lot else is going to really trouble them. Really got to bog them down, get some good armor-piercing units on them. It's tough. It's tough to kill them. I really like these guys, which is why I have 2 units. They're pretty expensive, though. They're pretty expensive, so I've had to go pretty cheap with some of my other units. But anyway, I do have the Demon Spew. I wanted something that could quickly cleave through things like Spearmen or Halberdiers without too much problem. And the rest is chaff here. Chaos Marauders. My front line is absolute filth. But I do have some Chaos Warriors with Halberds on the edges, so I do have some good sort of help. If he does go very heavy with the cavalry and the guns, I've got something that can bog down the cavalry and sort of help my Chaos Knights if I'm fighting a ton of Demigryphs and, you know, and Outriders firing in all the rest of it. I can wrap up the fights a bit quicker with help from the, you know, the Chaos Warriors with Halberds. They should help, and they should anchor my front line a bit. Because, yeah, ton of armor on these guys, which is really nice. So hopefully the edges will be fine, and the Demon Spew can help this stuff kill things quicker. So hopefully it'll work. Also, Archaon the Everchosen, decided to bring him. I mean, I just kind of figured I'd bring Archaon. I brought all the Chaos Knights. It seemed a shame not to. So I have Archaon. He's got Flaming Sword of Ruin, Piercing Bolts, and Cascading Fire Cloak, which gives really good melee defense buffs. I really like that spell. I've been using it a lot lately. So, yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I like Archaon, he'll do. And also, over here, I just have a ton of Marauder Horsemen and 2 with throwing axes. So I've got a lot of volume of fire and some armor piercing with these 2. But straight away you can see, the silver bullets are starting to fire into me already. That is a mistake. He needed to use his stalk to get them back over here somewhere, because there's nothing defending them, which is a real problem for him. But it was definitely a surprise. I'm taking a lot of damage out of this, but these are too valuable to have out in the open. So, you know, a bit of an ambush kind of, you know, plan there, but he had nothing else to sort of help. So, and he could have done, because if we look over here, he does have the Royal Altdorf Gryphites, which could have actually been poised in the trees somewhere around here to attack whatever may go for them. So that would have been a good ambush, but he left them on their own, which is a shame. So that's a real pity. But I decided I'd try and get some damage into the Halberdiers. That's what led me here, because, yeah, they've got armor piercing and anti-large, and I want my Chaos Knights to basically kill everything without problems. So getting some damage into the Halberdiers that have no missile resist, these guys will get a lot of value. So that's fun. So he has a load of Spearmen in the front line. I mean, like a ton of Spearmen, just all the Spearmen. So no missile resist, don't need that. They're just there for some fodder to slow things down. As well as that, he has the Tattersouls and Sigmar's Son, so 2 very capable, unbreakable units there. And for the damage dealing, to cut through all the Chaos Warriors and the like, he has 2 units of Greatswords. So the Greatswords are absolutely fantastic in this matchup. Just, yeah, you know, anti-armor, anti-infantry, what more do you need? So these guys can get some real work done in the front line, and I don't have a lot that can really stop them in the front line. So anyway, he also has a Hammer of the Witches. Hammer of the Witches, great thing to have. It is super accurate, do a ton of damage. My Knights are going to be in trouble if he decides to start shooting at them. This will just tear through the units very quickly. He also has a Empire Captain. Quite cool to see the Empire Captain. Don't often see him, but you know, he's a pretty good fighter. So that's nice. And he just has a General of the Empire on a horse over here. So it went pretty cheap with the General, but he's a capable fighter, you know. He is capable. So it'll be interesting to see. So, speeding things up. As you can see, they're on their own, so I'm going to go for them. I was poised, expecting something to run out the trees, but nothing ever did. So, I got the other Marauder Horsemen moving around the back. So, you know, these guys can pull away if something did run out, and they'd have to run through the unit, and I'd be throwing axes at all of them, you know, yeah. So I wanted my armor-piercing ones in the front. Happened to be they were closer, which was definitely good. But anyway, so here, I'm trying to run away. He's coming in with his General of the Empire. But I'm just going to keep trying to run through. Unfortunately, he does run into this crowd. I need to stay in this fight until the silver bullets are dealt with. So anyway, our front line is advancing across the board, so that's good news. And I've actually got both my Chaos Knights moving down this way, because hopefully I can catch out this General of the Empire. I'm about to bog down all of his stuff, so that would be great if I could bog him down. So he's used the Rune Fang and everything else, which might have been a bit preemptive, because it's only Marauder Horsemen. So throwing some axes into what's left. Silver bullets, super injured right now. But I think they do actually come back later. So here, tried to get him. I was hoping he was distracted over here, so I thought I'd try and cheekily hit his greatswords. Because I knew I already had the advantage, having taken out these units, and now in his back line, and things are looking pretty bad for him. So a load of damage on the halberdiers already. So I had the advantage. So I thought I'll gamble. I'll see if I can get some more damage with the greatswords, which I'm doing now. These guys are just throwing axes into the back of the greatswords, so I'm getting some damage there. Unfortunately, you know, he does have the Hammer of the Witches firing at me, but I'm going to get on top of him with the Marauder Horseman, which is fine. And he does have units spare. Honestly, he could have pulled back some spearmen to try and defend the Hammer of the Witches, because that's not something you want to lose. And now I'm taking it out with something quite cheap. He is coming with the Demigryph Knights, but that's not too much of a problem. Over here, I do have some Chaos Knights with Lances, keeping the General of the Empire busy. Honestly, I was hoping I'd kill him quicker than this. He is actually putting up a good fight. I should have been trying to cycle charge more, but I don't. He does the silver bullets coming back, so they can turn around and start shooting Chaos Knights, which is a pain. Over here, I'm getting some good damage into the Royal Altdorf Gryphites with my missiles here, and I'm charging them with the Chaos Knights. And obviously, the charge is going to do a lot of damage. There we go, I can do words. But I'm taking a lot of damage in kind. The anti-large and the armor piercing is doing wonders. So here I do hit them with a cascading fire cloak, but their melee defense up to 61, which will definitely help. And I'm continuing to throw axes into this group as well. So yeah, unfortunately, he is trying to chase me with the Tattersalls, which is a very good move. They will take a lot of damage to missile fire, but I don't want to waste the ammo on them, honestly. So I just want to outrun them, but I need to stay in range of the Altdorf Gryphites so my Chaos Knights can win. The front line, all the spearmen are getting completely demolished, but yeah, his greatswords are holding out very well here, which is a shame. Do have Demon's Spew in here. I think they're poisoning all the units. Archaon is in here fighting the greatswords. He's on Dorga, so he's going to be getting, you know, none of the anti-infantry of the greatswords is going to affect him, so that's nice. So he's going to be great at helping here. And Slayer of Kings, yeah, I'm going to cut through these guys pretty quickly. Over on this flank, though, the greatswords are completely demolishing my Chaos Warriors with halberds. So I'm trying to get some missile fire into them. He's chasing me around with the Empire Captain, but I'm happy just to get hit the odd time, honestly. It's not dense enough damage that he's got, enough splash damage or anything to really achieve too much. So I'm getting some really good damage into the greatswords, and also the spearmen, unfortunately. But anyway, here, charge in with the Chaos Knights into Tattersalls, try and get some damage into them. You can see the Hammer of the Witches is coming back. I was thinking the Hammer of the Witches was here for some reason, but no, the artillery's there, which does make me panic a bit later. Oh, I did run off the silver bullets, now I'm coming back to deal with the General of the Empire, who's still loitering. So, oh, he's still fighting one guy, apparently. So I'm going to charge back into him. So he's actually doing really well to deal with the Chaos Knights. I'm very surprised. But anyway, another charge, and that's pretty good. So over here, you can see Chaos Knights, they've been freed up. I've got halberds on the Tattersalls, but they've got enough armor that they actually survive a long time against things like Tattersalls. And then I've got Archaon in here getting all the damage in. So over here, use the Flaming Sword of Ruin, just to try and get some extra damage on the Demon's Spew and the Chaos Marauders, but I am losing out in a couple of places. So here, yeah, one of my throwing axes is pretty damn injured, but hey, I'm getting more damage into all these guys. The Great Sword's very, very injured now from just the sustained javelin and axe being thrown, you know. They're losing out here. They are suffering a lot, but there's still a lot of strength over here that I need to deal with. These Marauders, I'm pretty happy for them just to deal with the Spearmen. That's great. Works for me. And here, he's trying to screen move the Spearmen, which is very annoying. So I'm pulling away. And actually, I should just charge, but they're throwing axes at them instead, so they do just break from the missile fire. So I do have my halberds coming back. Only 16 of them, though. Over here you can see the Chaos Knights are still fighting the General of the Empire. They're a write-off. I don't care anymore. It's fine. General of the Empire is busy. It's, you know, kind of even exchange in terms of cost efficiency, so it's fine. I'll just concentrate on the rest of the battle, because he could really do with using stand your ground and things on his own men in here, so just keeping him over there helps me out, because he can't use his support abilities to help, you know. Yeah, there we go. Stand your ground, and who cares? It's not affecting me. So I've got Archaon running in again. He's barely taking any damage. And yeah, at this point, he knows that it's just a matter of time. He's got nothing to shut down all these missiles. And yeah, Archaon is still too healthy, and his general was going to be dead soon. He was going to lose out eventually to the knights. I mean, he didn't have anything that was going to work. Oh, also, I had my other knights chase off the Hammer of the Witches. Yeah, just there's nothing left that he had. So he called it a day. Understandably, I definitely got an early advantage in that one. So, yeah, life lesson for you all. Yeah, Stalk is awesome. It's nice to lay out these little ambushes. But you've got to keep them protected, because as soon as, you know, the silver bullets are exposed, as soon as they show their hand, you can just run them over. And that's what I did. And that's a pain, you know, that's real tough. You don't want that to happen. So, especially such a valuable unit, you really need the silver bullets to be getting some good damage into things like the Chaos Knights. And having the Demigryphs support them, you know, hidden in the trees, they suddenly come out. I mean, you saw they almost beat the Chaos Knights, you know. I had a load of support from missiles helping out the Chaos Knights. I even used Cascading Fire Cloak on them to help, you know. I had a lot of support there. And the Royal Altdorf Gryphites actually did great. So them, in support of the silver bullets, he could have just run down anything that tried to get them, which would have been awesome. It would have been a great trap. Maybe a bit of a waste fighting all the missile troops, because they could just run away and then, you know, just keep them at an arm's length and hurt them. But still, you've got to have something there to help, to support, I think. Also, no spellcaster, so again guys, always bring a spellcaster. Any spells in that matchup would have helped him endlessly. It would have been so much more useful than the Empire Captain. But yeah, he had 31 kills, but that was mostly, you know, Marauder Horsemen that he was chasing around that I didn't have to be that precious with, to be honest. So it wasn't that big a loss. But a spellcaster, if you had Law of Life, you know, a regrowth on those Altdorf Graphites, and he would have taken out my Chaos Knights. And that would have been really bad. Then he would have had some cavalry to run through my lines. I mean, Royal Altdorf Graphites, they're not meant for killing infantry, but Chaos Marauders will just get run over by them. So, you know, he would have had a lot of utility there, and it would have been worth trying to save. And he could have done that if he had a spellcaster. Law of Life, I think, would have been great here. You know, he could have healed up his great swords as well. The sword did do pretty damn well. I mean, one of them was fighting Archaon the whole time, and they still managed to kill a ton of Demon Spew and a ton of Marauders. So, you know, with a little bit of support, especially with the General of the Empire staying with his line, it would have helped a lot. So, guys, this is the most competitive game, but it does highlight a few things that people should be aware of. So I thought I'd, you know, treat this as a bit of a, you know, learning how to Warhammer 101, you know. So, interesting ideas in Hyperblade's build, but the execution wasn't quite right, and he was missing a couple of things. So I think it's worth talking about. Also, I just love seeing Chaos run rampant. They're hilarious. But yeah, so guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.